Like damn, she wanna afford to touch me. I say I want it, and she got it.
What's good? It's your boy JayThat'sMe. NXT is officially on the CW. We're going to talk about it from October the 1st, 2024. A pretty okay show on the CW. So the debut, in my opinion, overall was decent. The show itself was okay. It could have been a lot better. It really could have. But I'm not going to fault Shawn Michaels. I'm not. I feel like this is going to be more of a marathon versus a sprint. And that's how we have to look at it. That's just the honest truth. I cannot stand the new theme song. It sucks. I don't know why WWE continues to go with modern rap for everything. Don't do it. Please just give us just generic rock music. I wouldn't say generic, but give us certain bands, maybe like Linkin Park or maybe Nickelback or Seether or Story of the Year. Bands like that. Who else could be a good one for them to go for them to use it as a theme song? Slipknot as well. Stuff like that. Maybe Green Day. Just stuff like that. We need some real hard rock stuff. Breaking Benjamin would also be a good one too. Breaking Benjamin would be a very good one as well. So yeah. But it is what it is. Moving on. So we kicked the show off with Shawn Michaels and Triple H. They welcomed us to NXT on the CW. And the setup looked great. It was about probably 8,000 people there. The crowd, they were in and out of this show. At some parts they were in it, and some parts they were like, nah, we ain't in it no damn more. So, the first match of the night, Roxanne Perez versus Giulia for the NXT Women's Championship. Roxanne Perez gets the win via the help of a hooded figure who was revealed to be the returning Cora Jade, who did not get a reaction. Cora Jade's been on the show for well over a year. She tore her ACL, so there's that. And this match could have been a lot better. I'm not faulting Shawn Michaels. I'm not faulting, his team at all. But I feel like Giulia should have gotten more reps under her belt. She really should have. Outside of her wrestling Chelsea Green a couple weeks back, she should have had way more reps under her belt. Way more reps. I felt like they should have saved this match for Halloween Havoc, but I see where they're going with all of this, so it does make sense, but the match itself could have been a lot better than it was. A couple cool spots in the match was where Giulia did the double underhook suplex from the top rope. I'm shocked that wasn't the finish. I'm shocked that Roxanne Perez was able to kick out, but that should have been the finish, if we're being honest, to an extent. Giulia also did the Northern Lights suplex on the outside. Both women were able to get into the ring into the count of 10. So towards the end of the match, Roxanne Perez was about to grab the NXT Women's Championship and use it. The referee took it away from her. This allowed for, like I said, Cora Jade to sneak up from behind in a hoodie. They hit the double underhook DDT from behind, and then this allowed for Roxanne Perez to get the win via the Pop Rocks for the second time for the 1, 2, 3. So this does make sense. Again, I'm fine with this because we all know where this is leading. Giulia will definitely get her rematch either at Halloween Havoc or maybe even NXT Deadline in December. Or they could wait and do it next year sometime. I wouldn't rush this thing. I am on the side of really building up Giulia. Allow her to get reps under her belt like crazy. Seriously. I'm not saying to have her go out there and wrestle every week, but every other week she should be doing squash matches and stuff like that. And that way she can build up wins. And she didn't really need to even work with Roxanne Perez right here. It should have been quite a few months before she worked with Roxanne Perez, in my opinion. If I was booking this, this would have been a perfect way to debut Giulia. But I would not have had her go after Roxanne Perez until sometime next year. Like I said, maybe around Royal Rumble, or maybe even Stand and Deliver. If we're being honest, I probably would just do Stand and Deliver. So, yeah. But this is fine. I did see where this is going. Moving on. So, we got an Axiom and Nathan Frazier vignette. A Fraxium vignette. So, Axiom says that Nathan Frazier needs to stop being a hothead if they're going to retain the NXT Championships against A-Town Down Under next week. They were playing WWE 2K14. 24, my bad. Who gives a damn? Moving on. So, CM Punk, he's backstage with Ava. He tells her that he's going to call tonight's main event right down the middle, which he does, in fact, basically. So, Lexis King, he joins the conversation. Ormento pulled a fast one on him last week. So, CM Punk gives Lexis King some good advice about things, about doing things the right way, or continuing to battle the ghost of his father. And that's all that Lexis King did on this show. So, they're probably going to end up turning Lexis King probably slowly babyface. Am I against it? No, not really. I'm actually down for it. We'll have to see how the shit turns out. Moving on. Sexy ass Lola Vice and Jada Parker. They, good. Googly moogly. The both of them need to stay in their lane, according to each other. And Kalani Jordan says they both need each other. And then both Jada and Lola continue to bicker back and forth. And then Kalani Jordan mentions that she may have a backup plan if all else fails. All right, that's fine. Moving on, this leads us into Wes Lee versus Zachary Wentz. Chicago street fight. Match was short, but it was fun nonetheless. So Wes Lee ended up getting the win via the Meteora through a chair. He had chains wrapped around his legs, and he did the Meteora, and he got the 1, 2, 3 that way. The match was fine for what it was. It was a bizarre match. I loved when Zachary Wentz did the Swanton Bomb. So the finish came about, towards the finish is when Zachary Wentz was trying to do his cutter finish, and he actually was supposed to go through the table, but he missed it. So I know his hip's going to hurt like a motherfucker, for sure. But, is this thing over between Zachary Wentz and Wes Lee? I doubt it. They are both 1-1, so I wouldn't think that we end this. If we do, we probably will end it at either Halloween Havoc, or maybe even at another random episode of NXT, or maybe even they could take it to TNA, and maybe at Bound for Glory, they do Wes Lee and Zachary Wentz Part 3. But we shall see how it all plays out. Moving on. So, Cora Jade, she's back to remind the entire world that she's the real survivor of the NXT Women's division. She appreciates the change in Roxanne Perez's attitude. Who knows, maybe a common enemy can bring them back together. So this is fine. This makes perfect sense. They're slowly They're slowly but surely getting back on the same page, which does kick ass. So I do like this. Again, Giulia and Roxanne Perez are going to face again. So, Shawn Michaels did what he always does. This is how he did it in NXT UK. He would bring in a big name. They would, do good in a really good match, lose, and then later on down the line win the championship. And that's what they're doing here with Giulia. So, there's that. And I'm fine with this. So, we shall see what comes of this. Moving on. So, The Miz, he had his show out next. And this was great. So, Tony D was on this as well as Obafemi. So, basically, Basically, Tony D'Angelo puts over Ora Mensa, saying that he has power, aggressiveness, and he's very explosive. He says he uses this fear as motivation to do the unthinkable. He says next week he's going to stand toe-to-toe with Oba. He's going to dethrone the ruler of NXT and become the new NXT North American champion. So, Oba family responds by saying he knows that Tony doesn't believe a single word that he's saying. Oba family said that Tony D had a very successful career in NXT so far at this point. He says, but guys like you have a ceiling because you can sell as many people as you like inside your trunks. You can throw bodies over the bridge. And you can do whatever side hustle you choose to have. But one thing you'll never be is the NXT North American champion because this is his title. And so Tony D responds by saying, Oba thinks that that he knows him. Well, in fact, he doesn't. He grew up 20 minutes away from this building. He grew up on the streets of Chicago. He's got family in the back. He's got family in the crowd, extended and etc. He says he's got friends who believe and motivate him to be the man that he is today. And then Oba says that none of them can fight for you. Not Lucia, Rizzo, or Stax. None of them can fight for you. Not even the people in Chicago. He says, next week it's going to be me and you. And trust me, when it's just me and you in the middle of this ring. Remember last time we stood in the ring together? I broke you. I beat you. I planted doubt in your mind. And he knows that you're questioning yourself. You can't beat me. So, Tony D responds by saying, you're just the man, Oba. And the Oba family says that he's inevitable and you're still broken. So that was great. Really, really good shit. I am down for it. I can't wait for this. I'm trying to think, will this main event next week? I don't know. Probably not. This will probably either open the show or I could see this being on at the 9 o'clock hour. That's what I could see this going. I will put this on at the 9 o'clock hour, though, if we're being honest. I think that would be really good. I wouldn't open the show with this. I would put that at the 9 o'clock hour. So, yeah. Moving on. Fatal Influence. They defeat Jada Parker and Lola Vice. Jada Parker and Lola Vice, they cannot coexist. I mean, they're two sexy-ass chicks. Why would they be able to coexist? Hell nah. Shoot, them chicks are fine as hell. Shit. Good. Googly moogly. So, post-match, Colleen Jordan reveals that she brought some backup, and it's revealed to be Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill, and then they absolutely destroy House. So the sisters, the queens, the goddesses, they stand tall, and that being the Ebony Queens, they stand tall. So that was pretty cool. So it's kind of like, friends meeting up, or you could put it in a sense of, you got big sis, you got, the middle sister, and you got the little baby sister. So, yeah. You can put it that way. But this is going to be leading into a 6-woman tag next week, which should be kind of fun. So, yeah. We got a video package typing up Randy Orton and Javon Evans. That was pretty cool. We got a Delta vignette. So, I was thinking for a while, when I'm doing my Raw reviews, I was thinking that she was going to be put in the Judgment Day to, kind of serve as a heater to take on Rhea Ripley. But that's not going to happen. She's going to be in NXT as well. Okay. I don't know, man. I think that's a little bit too much because, again, you also have to realize, too, Jordan Grace is coming in as well. Jordan Grace is coming in January. So, I don't know, man. Like, if Delta goes after Kalani Jordan, I think that could be nice. But I really wanted Stephanie Vacker to be in that spot. But it is what it is. I mean, I'm down for it. So yeah. Main event of the evening. It was okay. Trick Williams defeats Ethan Page to become the new NXT champion for a second time. The special guest referee was CM Punk. And so this match was okay, like I said before. So towards the end of the match, Ethan Page did a razor's edge to the announce table. CM Punk didn't even count. He went out and checked on him. Ethan Page ended up hitting the GTS. He got a 2 count. He went to go for an Ego's Edge again. And then, basically, Trick Williams, he sidestepped Ethan Page to the turnbuckles. And, Trick Williams plants Ethan Page with the trick shot. And then that was it. And then CM Punk hits the GTS on Ethan Page, and that was all she wrote. That was the end of the show. So this was fine because this went off exactly at 10 o'clock. Damn. Again, this is going to be the problem with NXT that they're facing. This is going to be their problem going forward, that the show has to go off at 10 because the next thing that's going to come on is your local news. So that's the problem. But the show itself was okay. I do like the black and silver stuff. It's kind of cool. I like how everything is brighter and stuff to an extent. So we shall see how this era goes. I know people are already shitting on it because it's not black and gold. And I've said before, black and gold has been going for a long time. Black and gold was a money pit. Sure, it gave you good memories and stuff, but that's long gone. That's what you have Peacock for, and that's what you have the CW network for. You know, you can watch all that stuff. Again, it's interesting. So, Trick is champion once again. That's great. Are we going to get a third and final rematch between Trick and Ethan Page? We probably are at Halloween Havoc. I doubt they'll wait and do it at NXT Deadline, so they're definitely going to run it back at Halloween Havoc. From there, I think Trick Williams is not Trick Williams. I think Ethan Page is going to go to the main roster. You can put him in that mid-card on Raw or SmackDown, and I think he'd be fine. Or you can put him with The Miz and, do stuff like that. So there's stuff that Ethan Page can do. But Ethan Page does not need to be on NXT after he loses to Trick Williams at Halloween Havoc, if we do get that rematch there. But we probably will. All in all, the show was okay. Like I said before, Roxanne Perez and Giulia, they could have done better. But I guess this was just a tease. I feel like they're going to build that match. I would not rush for that match for the remainder of the year. I would build it up, honestly. And like I said, sometime next year, maybe around the Royal Rumble, or maybe even by Stand and Deliver, maybe that's when we run it back. But I wouldn't run this thing back for the remainder of the year. I just wouldn't do it. I am excited for next week. I feel like next week we're going to get surprises. I feel like we'll get the Mercy Machine Guns next week. I feel like we'll get Stephanie Vacker to show up. I'm excited for Roxanne Perez and Cora Jade to see where that goes. So, NXT, it was okay for the most part. For the first debut episode on the CW, it was okay. But what did you guys think? Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.